Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, we're gonna see and implement one real-time concept. Now let's say I have three servers. Now I have a need to create a common storage for all these three web servers. That is this. So, and whenever if I share some file from one server, that file I want to access from another server as well. Even though the servers are present in different availability zones, but in same region. That is, let's say I have servers in three different availability zones, but in same region. Now, I want a common storage for all these servers. I want a common storage for all these servers where if I put some content from server 1, that I can able to see that content that we put in the storage from server 2. So eventually, if we connect this storage to another server present in another availability zone of the same region, then this server also can able to see whatever the content present in this file system. So like that, I want a storage, common storage for multiple servers. Now I want to specify one more thing. My servers, all my servers are running on a operating system of Linux. So during this case, if your servers are running on Linux operating system and you require a common storage for all your servers, then there is a service for you in AWS. That service name is EFS, Amazon EFS, Elastic File System. You can create a elastic file system and you can mount that elastic file system to different servers, multiple servers which are present in same region, but maybe those servers may present in same availability zone or different availability zone also. Now, in this video, we're gonna see how to create a EFS file system and how to mount this EFS file system to multiple servers which are present in same region but different availability zones. Then after mounting my EFS file system to multiple servers, we also see hands-on lab on we put some content from server 1 to this file system and we verify that content is visible from server 2 or not. So that's what we're gonna implement in this lab. So let's start it. Now, before doing lab, let's see what our architecture will contain. Our architecture contain three EC2 instances and one EFS file system, where these EC2 instances are nothing but my servers, where this EFS is nothing but a common storage that I want to create for these servers, right? Yes. So after creating it, I want to attach it to my servers and verify that if I upload my content from server 1, that is visible from server 2 or not, right? Yes. So for doing this, first we need three servers, right? Then after we need our file system. I've already created these three servers for you for this lab, but this file system we're gonna create now. Now, first I want to show you these three servers that I've already created. So for this, I've already logged into my AWS management console. Now I want to show you my EC2 instances that are already created for you for this lab. Now I am opening instances which are present under EC2. It will show me the currently running instances. So currently it is loading. Now you can see three instances are there, right? Yeah. And even you can see at where in which locations they are present. You can see they one server is present in US 1A, One server is present in US 1B, one server is present in US East 1C. That means all are present in same region, that is a US East region, and US East region, one US East 1 region, and every server is present in different availability zones. That is, one is present at 1A availability zone, one is present at 1B availability zone, and another is present at another availability zone. Now, what I am expecting? I am expecting a common storage for all these servers. So I am clearly specifying you that these all servers are created on operating system. Which operating system? Linux operating system. Since these all servers are created on top of Linux operating system, we can use EFS, that is Elastic File System, as a common file storage for all the servers. So in order to use EFS as a common file storage, now I need to create a EFS file system, right? Yes. So let's create that from EFS service. Now I am opening this EFS. You can see it is a managed file storage for EC2s. Now I'm clicking on file systems. It will open me the EFS dashboard file systems. So currently I do not have any file systems. So that's why it is showing a 0. Now I want a file system for my 3 servers that I have already shown you. So to create a common storage for for those 3 servers that I have shown, now I am creating a file system. Now I just clicked on create file system. Now I'm writing some name EFS1, EFS file system 1. So this name is your wish. You can put it based on your requirement. So currently I am putting like this. And if I click on create, then it will create me a file system. But I want to customize that this file system. I want to see and explore the options which are present while creating this file system. I want to configure from end to end. So that's why I'm choosing this customize option for this lab. Now, whenever we click on customize, you can see we have 3 steps, that is totally 4 steps. So in first step, we need to select the file system setting. Second step, we need to select network access. Third step, file system policies, and at last review and create. Now let us see with file system settings. The file system settings, that is the first we need to specify the file name. Now we have already provided the file system name, even it's an option. Then file system type. Do we want to create this file system for a region, whole region, or a single availability zone? Now I'm creating it for whole region. Since my servers are present in different availability zones and I need to access this file system as a common storage for all my servers which are present in different availability zones. Now I'm creating this for regional. Currently for this demo, I do not require these backups. Even additional charges will be applied if we choose these backups. And lifecycle management is also not required for me for this lab. Next, encryption. So I'm moving on with the default option. If you have any specification that the storage that you store under this file system need to be encrypted by using specific key, KMS key that you provide, that you can able to choose from here, or else move with the default so that it will take AWS Elastic File System encryption key. Then after you need to choose the performance settings for this file system that you are creating. Now you want to increase this file system based on users throughput, that is users request. Based on users request, you want to scale this elastic file system, then select this. Or else based on the storage you store in the file system, you want to scale this, then you can choose this bursting performance, bursting as a performance settings. Because if you choose this, then if you store large amount of data, then it will scale up. If you choose this, then based on, if you decrease the storage in your file system, then obviously the EFS file system size will be reduced. So like that, it will scale down. So that will be happen if you choose this bursting mode. Then performance mode, if you have any requirement for max input outputs, then you can choose this. Or else for general purpose, you can choose this. So currently for this demo, I'm moving on with the default option, that is general purpose. And if you need any tags, then you can add the tags here. So currently I don't want any tags, so I'm not adding anything. Now I'm just clicking on next. Now we need to provide the network related access details. So this file system, in which networks these file system will be accessible. That is, if you provide this file system is accessible in US East 1A, then the servers which are present in US East 1A region only can able to access this file system. The servers which are present in other availability zones, which are not able to access this file system. So now you can see I have 3 availability zones for this. So currently I'm just moving on with the one availability zone, and I am removing other availability zones, because so first I want to show you even how to make it available to other regions, other availability zones as well. Now you can see I provided 1A and 1B. Then we need to select the security group as well. So what does the security group will, how the security group will access? So based on security group that you provide, your EFS file system will accept the request from those servers only. So for this lab, for this elastic file system, I want to create a security group. So for that, I'm just opening EC2 dashboard in another new tab. So I'm just clicking on EC2. Now I'm just clicked on control, and then I'm selecting the tab so that it will open me in next tab. Now I'm opening the EC2. Here I want a security group for my EFS file system. So that's why I'm creating from this option. Currently I have 3 security groups. 2 are for default ones, and one is the web server security group that I've already created. So that web server security group I created for my web servers, that is EC2 instances. Now I'm creating my another security group for what? For the purpose of EFS file system. So that's why I'm clicking on create security group. Now we need to provide the details of the security group. So I'm providing the name of the security group. This is EFS security group. So that's why I'm naming like this. To recognize it easily, we need to provide some description. EFS security group to access only, to access requests coming from only web servers. So where my web servers are present in? My web servers are present in my web server security group, right? That is web servers security group. Yeah. So I'm just providing the description like this. You wish, you can provide based on your requirement. Remember one more thing, your security group and whatever the, so whatever the EFS file system that you are creating, that both are present in same VPC, then only you can use it for there. So that's why I'm creating this in the same VPC where my servers and file system I'm going to create. Now inbound rule. In this inbound rule, what I want to accept, I want to accept the request from all my web server security group, right? Yes. So that request also NFS, that is a network file system. What is that? That request type is also NFS type, network file system type. We need to provide the source IP address. My sources are nothing but web servers. So that's why I'm selecting the web server security group. What are the servers which are present under the web server security group? Those all servers traffic I am allowing. So outbound traffic, all outbound traffic is allowed by default. Currently, I'm not creating any tags. Now I'm just clicking on create security group. Now you can see my security group got created. Now I'm moving back to my EFS. Now here, actually, I want to use that security group. So currently that is not visible. Now I think I need to reload this page. So let's try with the add mount target. If still we not get that, then we obviously reload this page, then it will get. So currently it was not getting. I'm just reloading this page. Yeah, so since I reloaded this page, it moves back to file system settings. I'm moving on with the settings that I've provided previously. Now you can see we are under network access. So currently I want to allow mount targets from 1A availability zone and 1B availability zone servers only. That is from server 1 and server 2. I'm accessing the mountings and security groups also I need to select. So whatever the security group for EFS file system that I have created, where this security group only allows the traffic from web servers security group. In this web servers, actually my servers are there. So that's why I provided a rule like that for incoming traffic for this EFS file system. Now I only created mount targets in 2 availability zones. At where? In network access. So one more important point that I want to tell to you is, even after creating your file system, you can even provide mount targets to another availability zone, that is a 1C availability zone as well. I will show you that as well after creating this. Now I'm just clicking on next. Now I'm moving on with the default configurations for this file system policies for this demo. Now I want to review and click on create. Now I don't want to, I hope I know everything I configured correctly. And now I'm just clicking on create. Before clicking on create, you can see the mount targets I allowed for 1A and 1B region only. Even though if you try to mount your file system to 1C region server, 1C region, 1C availability zone server, it won't be possible. If you want to mount the servers which are present in 1C availability zone, then you need to add that network access to here as well. Now I'm just clicking on create. I'll add that 1C availability zone after creating this. So that's why I'm creating this. You can see successfully created this file system. Now I'm opening this file system. You can see under network, it was allowing me to mount my targets. It was allowing me to mount this file system to targets which are present in US East 1A availability zone and US East 1B availability zone. So currently these targets are creating. You can see under mount targets state. Now you can see our mount targets are available. So now we can able to mount this file system to servers that are present in US East 1A and US East 1B region. Now let's move back to our architecture. You can see in our architecture, we have already 3 servers are there. And now we have already created this EFS file system, but this EFS file system we created for, we are accessing the network only from availability zone 1A and 1B. That is from these 2 servers, we are accessing the traffic for this EFS file system, but we haven't allowed this 1C region server access. Now I want to mount this file system to these 2 servers. So let's see how to do that. Now let's connect. Let's connect these 2 servers with this file system. So for that, I'm moving back to EC2 management console. You can see I'm opening the EC2 dashboard and opening the running instances. Now you can see I'm clicking on the instances which are present in 1A region. Now I want to connect to this. So to connect to this, I'm using the sessions manager and I'm clicking on connect. Now you can see it is establishing the connection. Now we connected to this file system, that is a server successfully. I want to move I want to do operations as a super user. So that's why I'm using this sudo super user do su. That means super user. Convert from normal user to root user. We just converted to root user. Now I want to, since this is a server 1, I want to make a folder. I want to make a folder to remember this is a server 1. So that's why I'm making server 1 folder. You can see I'm making a server 1 folder, right? Yes. Now I'm just moving on to the server 1 folder. You can see the present working directory, or else you can see here we are under server 1, that is visible here. We are under this folder. Where this folder where we created under server 1, where the server 1 is actually present. This server 1 is actually present in 1A availability zone. Now I want to connect to this server 2 as well, which is present in 1B availability zone. So to recognize in which server I am, I'm just creating 2 folders. One is that server 1 to identify that server 1. Now I want to connect to this server 2 and I want to create one more folder with the name server 2 as well. Now I'm connecting by using sessions manager to this server 2 as well. Now I'm just moving to super user and I'm making a directory with the name server 2. Now I'm just moving on to that server 2. So now this server 2 is present in our server 2. The server 2 folder is present in our EC2 instance 2, that is server 2. And this server 1 folder is present in our server 1. So we can able to easily identify now what is our server 1 and what is our server 2 based on these folders names, right? Yeah. So now I want to mount the file system that I have created to these 2 servers. So how do I mount? So what is mount? The question is, what is mount? Mounting is nothing but attaching to a folder. Now, before attaching, I want to create a folder name here. So by using make directory, I'm creating a folder, that is folder 1. So in this server 1, I'm just creating folder 1, or else, yeah, I'm just creating folder 1. Now I created folder 1 in server 1. Now I want to mount that EFS file system to here. So before mounting, we need to install a dependency, that is Amazon EFS utils. So this is the necessary library that you need to install. So for that, you have a command that is minstall the software name or that you want to install package name. And you need to provide Y to specify yes. So now I'm just clicking on enter. You can see that plugin is getting installing. Now you can see that is completed successfully. That is, it is installed successfully. Now I want to mount my EFS file system to this server. So to mount that, let's open the EFS file system. So first you need to check under network. It is allowing, it is accepting, it is creating the mount, it is created the mount target in the availability zone of your server. So actually my server is present in US East 1A. So there actually my mount targets are created. Now I want to attach this file system to my server. So to attach this, you have an option that is attach. So where this attach option is there, under my file system, under my EFS file system that I have created. Now I'm just clicking on attach option. Now I'm just copying the command. I'm just copying the command. Now I'm opening my server one. Now I'm opening my server one. This is my server one. So how do you recognize this is server one? So that's why I recognize it. This is server one. Now I'm just pasting the command that I have copied. Where what this command will do, sir? This command will simply mount or attach the file system. This file system from your AWS to this folder. To this folder. So currently, what is the folder name that we created in this server? We created the folder name as folder 1. So now I'm just writing folder 1. Since I want to mount this file system to folder 1 in my server 1, so that's why I'm doing this. So this indicates target by using a TLS protocol only. We are mounting our file system to this folder. So that's why this command we written. So even this command is directly available in our file system. You can see, you have seen we have copied from there. Now I'm just clicking on enter. If we do not get any errors, then this file system is mounted to this folder. Now you can see we did not get any error. That means this file system got mounted to this folder successfully. Done. Now let's list and see what are the folders I have. Now in server 1, we have this folder 1. Now I'm just moving on to that folder 1, which is present in the server 1. Now let's list and see, do I have any files in it? I do not have any files in this folder 1. And do we attach this file system to this folder 1? Yes, we attached our EFS file system to this folder 1. Now let us create some file in this folder 1. So to create a file and put some content, I am just using echo command. Welcome. This is server 1 file. So like that, I'm putting the name and I'm storing it in a file with a file name file 1. So like that, I'm saving. Now I'm just clicking on enter. Now let us list and see, does this file got created or not? You can see that file is visible. So to see the data inside it, I'm using cat command. So now let's enter and see. You can see whatever the content that we provided here, that is stored in this. So we created, so what we did till now, let us see. We connected to our server 1 and we even created a folder. Then we install the required software for mounting our file system. Then after we mounted our file system to just now created folder. Then after, in that folder where we mounted our file system, in there I am just creating a file, then I am putting some content into that file, right? Yes. So we put some content into that file. Now we have done one part. That is, for server 1, we have successfully connected this EFS file system and we put some content into that EFS by using this folder. Now I am expecting to connect to this server 2 as well. I want to connect this server 2 as well to that EFS file system. I want to access that file system which is connected with server 1. And then I want to access the files which we put into the file system from server 1. We have put a file, right? What is that file? That file is nothing but file 1, where that contains some content, that is welcome. This is server 1 file. So that file I want to access from this server 2 by connecting to that EFS file system. By mounting that EFS file system to the server 2, I want to access the file which I have created from my server 1. So to do that, now let's mount the file system to the server 2 as well. So how to mount our file system here, sir? So the same process. So let's create a folder here for this server 2. So for the server 2, I'm naming the folder name as folder 2. Now, why I named this as folder 2? Because we need not to provide the same names for the folders of server 1 as well as server 2. So to show that differentiation, I provided the folder name like this. Now I want to mount, right? So to mount that, we first need to install the Amazon EFS utils. So how do you install? By using yum install command. So this specifies we are allowing all the packages to download. Now you can see we successfully install whatever the required software. Now I'm just pasting the mount code that we just previously copied to mount our file system. So this is the file system mount code that we copied from EFS file system. So this is the same command that we used in server 1 as well to attach or mount this file system to server 1 folder. Now here also I want to attach this file system to server 2 folder. So what folder that we just now created? That folder is folder 2. Now I want to mount this file system to that folder 2. So that's why I'm providing the name as folder 2 here. Now I'm just clicking on enter. You can see we did not get any error. That means it is mounted successfully. Now let's list and see. We are currently in server 2 folder. In that we have folder 2. Now I'm just moving into that folder 2. And now let us see whatever the file that I have uploaded to this file system, EFS file system, that is available in this folder or not. Since we attached this file system to this folder 2, we need to get the content which is present in this file system into this folder, right? Yes. So let's list and see. You can see whatever the file that I have uploaded from my server 1, that is visible here. Now let's see the content which is present in this file 1 as well. Welcome, this is server 1 file. So we successfully accessed the file which we previously created from my server 1. From where? From server 2. Where this server 2 is present? In 1B availability zone. Where my server 1 is present? In 1A availability zone. But both are present in where? In the same region. So now can I say this file system acts as a common storage for both my servers? Yes, we can say that. How you can say that, sir? Because we created a file in where? In our server 1. In our server 1, I just created this file 1 and uploaded some content into this file 1. Now I can able to access that data from which server? From server 2 by connecting to my file system. So that's why I can say that this file system acts as a common storage between my two servers, right? Yes. Now we have done few important things in this lab. That is, we created our file system and we attached this file system to the server which is present in this 1A availability zone and 1B availability zone. Because we allowed our mount targets to be present in 1A availability zone and 1B availability zone from network, which is present under my file system. But we haven't allowed the network access from file system which is present in 1C availability zone. Now, we also see, now in this video only, we also see how to provide network access to another availability zone as well. After creating our file system, I want to show you how to provide network access to another availability zone as well. So for that, now I'm just opening my EFS file system. So I'm just closing it. Now you can see we are under our file system, right? Yeah. Now let us see the network. So currently we are allowing the mount targets. We are allowing the mount targets. We can able to attach this file system to 1A availability zone resources as well as 1B availability zone servers. 1C availability zone servers we haven't allowed. So now I want to allow that 1C availability zone as well and connect to the third server which is present in my EC2 instances. You can see this is the server which is present in 1C availability zone, right? Now I'm just expecting to connect it to it, and let's verify. Let's verify if I try to mount before creating the network access, before creating the network mount targets in 1C availability zone. Let's try to access that from our instance which is present in 1C zone. Now I just connected to my instance by using S, that is a sessions manager. I want to execute the command as a super user. So that's why I moved to super user. Now I'm making a directory as server 3 to remember this is a server 3 and I'm moving to that server 3. Yeah, I'm moving to server 3. Yeah, we are under server 3 folder now. We are under server 3 folder and server 3, that is the EC2 instance 3. Now I want to first install the software, right? Yeah, or I want to install this library or package. So how you can install? By using minstall and accepting all the dependencies to download. Now you can see we install the dependencies, right? Yeah. So we install that software. Now I want to mount that EFS file system to the server as well, to any one of the folder. So for that I'm creating a folder with the name folder 3 here in the server 3. Now I want to mount my target to the folder 3. So that's why I'm pasting the same command. I'm just clicking on enter to mount to this. Now you can see we got an error. We got an error. Failed to resolve that this file system. Check that the file system ID is correct and ensure that the VPC has file system mount target. So this is the error. Your VPC file system has no mount target for this. For this file system, you do not have mount target where this server is present in. So where actually my server is present in? My server is present in 1C availability zone. Now to connect our EFS file system that we previously created, this is the file system. this file system we are trying to connect to the server which is present in 1C availability zone, but it is not allowing because we do not have mount target available in that availability zone. So that's why we are unable to connect. Now I want to create mount target in that availability zone as well. So for that, you need to click on manage. Now you need to allow that 1C availability zone as well. You need to add a mount target to that availability zone as well. Now I have added that 1C availability zone. Now I'm providing the security group to allow the traffic from my server. I provided this security group that I have previously created for me to allow all the traffic from my servers. Now I'm just clicking on save. Now let's move it up. Yeah, it is creating. So after this got created, then we can able to mount this file system to the server which is present in this 1C region. 1C region. Now let's wait for a moment so that it becomes available. Then after we can able to attach this to server 3, which is present in 1C availability zone. Now you can see this is available now. That is, we can able to mount our file system in this availability zone servers as well. Now I'm opening that server, that is server 3 that we previously created. I want to execute the same above command. So I'm just clicked on above arrow. So that's why I'm getting the same command that I have previously provided. Now I'm just clicking on enter. So again, the same error I'm getting. I think it was not loaded. The settings were not updated. Now I'm just reloading this page. And let's try to mount right now by using the same command. So previously only we have installed required commands, required utilities. I'm again using a super user and I want to move to my server 3 folder. Now here I have folder that is this folder 3 that I have created. In this folder currently I not have any content. Even I can list and show you. I'm just moving into this folder 3 and then I'm listing. I'm list ls. You can see I did not get any content. Now I'm just expecting to move back a bit. Now we are under server 3 folder. So you can see the present working directory, or else now let's mount this file system to where? To this folder, that is folder 3, and see the content which is present under that folder 3. So previously before mounting, I did not have any content since we used the list command to see the content in this folder. Now I'm just clicking on enter. You can see now we do not get any error because we created the availability zone. We created the network here as well. So that's why it is not providing me any error. So that's why the server which is present in 1C availability zone can able to connect to the EFS file system. Since we created the mount target, we created the mount target at 1C availability zone as well. Now let's move on to that folder 3. So previously in my file system, what I put file 1 from my server 1. So let's see from here in this folder 3 whether that file is present or not, because the attached file system already contains some storage, that is file 1 that I've created from my server 1. Since I attached this file system to this folder, I need to get all the storage which is present in this file system to this folder, since it acts as a common storage for all my servers. Now let's list the data in this folder. Now you can see now we have the file 1 listed. So previously in this folder, I did not have any content. After listing, now we have some content because since we mounted or attached this file system to this folder, whatever the files that we created in this file system from any other servers that are visible from now. So now even I want to see the data which is present in this file. Now you can see welcome, this is server one file. So the content is also visible clearly. So that's it about this video. We have created a common file storage for all my servers, and we have even uploaded some content from my server one to this file storage, and we verified that content is present in this file system or not from this server. So for that, we first connected this file system to all my servers by using mount command. So that is even available in the file system that we created. So after mounting, we verified that the content uploaded from server one is visible in server two, and we also created the mount target in another availability zone. After creating our file system, I have also already shown you how to create a mount target in another availability zone. So while creating your file system also, I have shown you how to create mount target in availability zones of a region. Then after connecting to it also, I have shown you the content which is present in this file system by mounting this file system to this server. So I hope we fulfill the content and we learn hands-on behind hands-on lab behind creating this file system and mounting or attaching this file system to servers, and making this file system as a common storage for all my servers, and verifying that this file system acts as a common storage or not. So we have done all these things in this lab. I hope this video is useful to you. If you feel this video is useful and this video is understanding to you, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye guys.